Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, of course, the merchandising, TV shows, programming, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then I'll be talking about it. So here we go, I reckon. Anyway, so I just figured again do a response video, but this time it's actually going to be a video from this Christian channel kind of a thing here, folks. So yeah, this is my first time responding to something from him, folks. By the way, I haven't done anything from this individual before. I've been meaning to, but I've been just kind of lollygagging some ways. But you see, a lot of his channels, his entire channel is just, of course, talking about Jesus and all that, the gospel and all that jazz. Of course, that's basically what he's talking about, and of course, talking about the more modern age and whatnot. And I guess in this case, it's gonna be about entertainment. I'm not sure how often he does entertainment, but for this instance, he is, of course. But anyway, and okay, as if the title of this video doesn't say anything, it should be pretty obvious because it's gonna be a response to Disney's film Wish, because his discussion is gonna be some kind of warning. Yeah, that's trying to make it more scary than it should be. Of course, like typical reading to something that's not there as usual. How typical, I know. So that's basically what we talking about. He wants to give like some kind of discussion when it comes to this film and just, I guess, trying to give his own commentary over this subject matter. Again, I don't understand why this needs to be needed. I thought it was a pretty solid movie. Ever since I actually saw this up in the movie theater a while back, and yes, I actually do own a physical copy of this on Blu-ray, by the way, because I thought it was a solid enough film, of course. And yes, the fact that the character has a goat as a sidekick doesn't really sit well with some Christians, because the whole thing with Satanism, the goat and whatnot, does not go well with Christians because that somehow is a symbolism of all things evil. So I'm confused here. Are you trying to say that Disney is okay with having princess characters being aligned with evil? I don't get it. I mean, I'm already confused. I'm trying to wrap my head around this entire thing because he's trying to watch this and review this under a Christian lens, of course, which I don't understand why, because not everything needs to be analyzed in a Christian context. Maybe in some cases, maybe, I guess, in some films, perhaps, but not in this case. I don't know, what the case may be. Let's just get this over with and just get into it, I guess. And of course, thank you for anybody for watching ahead of time, because again, like usual, these videos tend to be fairly lengthy. So here we go, I guess. My head is already.
All right, guys, thank you for watching today's video. My name is Spencer Smith. I'm a Baptist preacher. We talk about contemporary theological issues on this channel. Go ahead and hit your like button and subscribe to this channel if you're new.
Don't tell me what to do.
We're going to talk about this new movie coming out from Disney called Wish, and I've seen the trailer. I've watched a lot of the stuff that's on it and a lot of the information that's out on it. And I want to tell you just right off the bat that this movie is going to be like Satanism repackaged. And I want to warn.
Oh, Joe, that's so dumb.
Oh, Christ, yes, right off the bat, it's about Satanism, of course. What are you talking about? What kind of drugs are you on, bud? Or are you just taking the wrong kind of medication? That's been one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And I've heard all the dumb shit. I mean, holy hell, that was really dumb. Oh my god, really? Anyway.
Warn you about this movie because there are messages that are put in these movies that are designed to pull your children away from God, away from the Bible, and ultimately poison their mind against the gospel. And I want to tell you about this, and I know I've said a lot already. That just sounds like the that sounds like the rants of some crazy fundamentalist.
Oh Christ, you're almost self-aware. You're almost self-aware because, yes, that absolutely sounds like a bunch of nut job rambling from some religious person. Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it. Oh my god, this sounds so over the top. And yes, he's serious about this. I mean, he was trying to kind of give it like a half jokingly last statement he just said there. But yeah, he meant this. Okay, that aside, He meant this as a 100% serious. He really meant this entire thing to be 100% serious. Ugh.
As preacher, and so, but I think I have a good point. I want to share with you my ideas here.
Well, I call bullshit because you're just making things up as usual when it comes to this kind of stuff. A lot of you Christians do the exact same thing. Christ.
So basically, here's the idea of the movie. Here's the plot: is that there's this kingdom called Rosa, and this kingdom is ruled by a man named King Magnifico. And ultimately, there's this girl in the kingdom, and she goes to do an internship with him, and she discovers somewhere along the way that this king could grant people's wishes, but he has actually chosen not to grant as many wishes as he could, and thus tainting the moral character of King Magnifico in the mind of this young lady.
Wow, you really booched it. You missed the whole bit where with these characters will have to reach a certain age, of course, when I guess young adulthood, I suppose, which is usually what, between 16, 17, 18, 19, something like that. And they would be selected by the king, who will help, who needed like some kind of a apprentice, of course, who needs assistance to keep things running, I suppose. There's a whole thing with that, so you missed it.
And so what she does is she actually decides that I'm going to go and find some sort of magic myself, and I am going to challenge King Magnifico, and I'm going to overthrow this bad.
Oh, Christ almighty. Again, you're glancing over a lot of detail. There was like this whole bit. I mean, granted, yes, she was finding some things questionable, that's true, but you glance over the bit where one of her relatives, one of the older relatives to be more exact, had a wish and it was never granted. And of course, she found that kind of sus. Why is some wishes are not being granted? What is that all about? And of course, the villain of the story thought it was too grand and whatnot.
Guy who's in charge, and I'm going to usher in some sort of utopia, and for some reason it has something to do with chickens.
Don't patronize me.
So, okay, aside from the fact that came off extremely condescending, you missed the point. Again, you keep glancing over very, very specific details for some odd reason. I don't want to interject your own perspective here. I mean, yes, you wanted to do like some kind of utopia kind of thing, sure, but it was under a false pretense because he really wanted to have absolute control. So again, what are you even talking about? What? The main character of the film, Sasha, excuse me if I'm butchering that name, knew that something didn't seem right, so she basically went rogue, and that's when she came upon this wishing upon a star kind of a thing, and this star actually came to life, kind of like a companion kind of a thing, like she has with this goat, of course. And the king is definitely up to something. Obviously, he wanted to use her as an apprentice type of character, like I was saying earlier, folks. And again, she knew that something didn't feel right. And this was kind of like a ritual ceremony kind of a thing that she would have to go through. But again, something didn't seem right. So, of course, she looked into it and she went rogue and started doing her own investigation, this kind of thing and whatnot. And got her. She figured out what was really going on, and she got her friends involved, even though they were skeptical at first. But there you go.
I have no idea why. We'll find out, I guess, when the movie comes out.
Okay, then how do you know there's this alleged satanic thing going on? I mean, like that matters anyway, because you Christians would have just judged it anyway in a really moronic way. So either and or, you would have said something anyway. But the fact you admitted you haven't even seen it yet just pretty much ruins this entire video to begin with. Like they made sense anyway, but still. Why do you have to be so miserable? I mean, holy hell. Can't you just sit down and enjoy the movie? I mean, seriously, was that impossible?
But what she does is she actually calls upon the typical Disney trope. She wishes upon a star, and this.
Don't patronize me.
Let me guess, you can blame people who enjoy Disney, like myself included, and Elfers. You can blame us that you can't get any joy out of anything. Is that what it is? Christ, I'm you're miserable.
Star comes down from the universe and gives her the ability to manipulate magic, and basically she becomes a witch, and she becomes.
What manipulation? Okay, that aside, when did any of this happen? When? When did this happen? I've seen the movie more than once, and that literally never happened when she becomes a witch. What are you talking about? What?
A very powerful witch, but a good witch nonetheless.
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Of course. And then, of course, that really is going to be the plot of the movie. So,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
guys, this is a typical Gnostic movie. And if you study our Third Adam series and go watch all those, you have
What the hell are you talking about?
Third Adam 2, we talk about the pagan trinity. And Third Adam 3, we talk about Gnosticism and what that is and how you're trying to break free from it.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
A system and things like that. And then also we talk about Third Adam 4, the false Holy Spirit, the power of all this magical stuff that's going on.
Are you stupid or what?
And I want you to know this. When it comes to Disney movies, you have to understand that Walt Disney was actually a Freemason.
What's the matter with you?
And really for a long time that was a conspiracy to me, and I've asked people to prove
Are you stupid?
it to me, and many of them could not. So I went down the rabbit hole myself, and I came out the other end saying, yes, he absolutely is a Freemason, and I've got the proof to show you that. We were going to put it in Third Adam 4, but it just didn't fit, so we
You realize that the proof of burden is on you? You're the one who has to prove me that Walt Disney was part of the Freemason. He wasn't at all. He never was, but I'm already convinced that he isn't. You're the one that needs to convince me that he is. So again, the proof of burden is on you. And you realize that characters having magic in princess movies was there from the get-go. It's in both Frozen films. In matter of fact, it's literally in every single Disney princess movie. And this is because of the fact that these films were heavily inspired by Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, and that's because of the fact that the film became one of the most successful animated films of all time. It was the first animated movie to be successful. And all these princess movies owe their existence to that one movie. The Butterfly Effect much. So all these movies had continued that trend of magical items and whatnot. What are you talking about? Because newsflash, the movie Wish is not the first princess movie to use magic. It might have continued that trend, but is not the first one to do so.
have, there's really like a lost hour to Third Adam 4, and we're going to try to roll that out to you before too long. But guys, let me tell you this: there is going to be a satanic or Gnostic or Freemason slant.
You literally just said a moment ago you didn't see the movie just yet. You saw it. This entire thing is just based on speculation. That's it. So again, like a typical Christian, you're just tugging out your ass. Okay, so none of that's in here. None of that's in here. I know a lot of you Christians believe in magic, but you Christians act as if magic in itself is evil, which is nonsensical to begin with because God Himself used magic. God used magic to create the world and literally everything else. So what are you talking about, really?
In all of these movies, and I want you to know that Freemasonry and Christianity are completely opposite of each other. They are incompatible. There is no way that you can hold to the philosophies and the teachings of Freemasonry and call yourself a Bible-believing Christian. You just can't do it. They are total opposite. And really, my advice to you, if you are a Freemason, you're watching this video, my advice to you is to repent and believe the gospel. And
Okay, there's a huge hole in your story. Again, aside from the fact that you're making this seem really condescending. Okay, that aside, if one of these people, if a Freemason actually existed, do you think you would have been alive right now? You're still posting videos on your channel. So if this secret society did not want to be discovered, they would have killed your ass already. They would have murdered you without a trace, and your entire YouTube channel would have been erased as well, specifically this video. I'm not sure if you mentioned this in the other video when it comes to like the Illuminati or any other secret society type of thing. For a secret society kind of a thing, they seem to be so easily discovered. And if that's the case, if these people do exist, like you claim that they are, would it make more sense to make sure that they won't be so easily discovered? So you're just basing this entire thing on magic. Again, literally every Disney princess movie has magic. And magic's not exactly evil because, again, the god that you believe in used magic to create the world. Yeah, seriously, it does happen.
Trust Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and be born again. And so here's what I want you to see, and I'm gonna explain Gnosticism to you, and I'm gonna interject points in this movie where this is a Gnostic movie.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Okay? Now, for example, let me give you what we're gonna call Gnosticism 101 right here.
You are a fucking idiot.
In Gnosticism, you have something called the demiurge. Now, let me just erase these arrows that I have here just to give you some clarity of thought as we go in.
I'm sorry, but this is just so asinine.
Into this topic here. You have this terrible, horrible being, this monster right here called the demiurge. Now, the demiurge is actually produced by...
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
Okay, you realize that's not what that word means. You can't just change the definition of certain words just so it can fit to your narrative. That's not what that's about. And the movie isn't promoting to, oh yeah, to worship oneself. Well, so of course, I mean, yes, the character is not a witch. You realize there are other characters or other identities that could conjure, you know, some kind of magic or spells and whatnot. But even if the character is a witch, which she isn't, but even if she was, that in itself does not mean she's worship herself. That literally never happened. By the way, folks, I'm going to split this into two parts because, as you can see, this is taking quite a while to just wrap up. But I'll just split it into two parts. I'm just say this one last part and just so we can just finish, I guess, at least for now. But again, he's just twisting the meaning of the words just so he can fit to his narrative. There's literally nothing of substance. There's nothing substance here at all. Not from his perspective, anyway. So anyway, folks, I'll make part two as soon as I can, I guess. So when I feel like it, that is. Until next time, as always, thanks for watching. See you.